Destiny and Joe here with Kieran 4. Today we are speaking about a pretty hot topic. We're going to talk a little bit about leaky gut, amongst some other things. So, because of the fact that Mr. Joe here has firsthand experienced a leaky gut, I want him to start off.
Yeah, so it takes me back to 2015, early 2015, when I first started my functional medicine education. And it was brought on by me and my daughters having to get up to date. Well, my daughters to get up to date for American vaccines that they weren't experiencing in the UK, even though the schedule is very simple. Right. So I was concerned that they had to have a number of shots back to back. I was worried about the volume of shots. And whilst I was with the nurse and the doctor, they said, "Oh, maybe you should have the flu jab," because it was January.
Shot. They call them a jab.
Yeah. As it was January when we arrived here, aka flu season. Mm-hmm. So we all got the vaccines, right. And my daughters were fine, but I sadly developed pneumonia a week later. After asking the nurse and the doctor, there is no chance this will make me sick. It's just going to help me, yeah?
Did you go back and ask them,
I went back a week later really sick, hoping to help spread the, spread the wealth.
What did they say?
And they said, the most likelihood of your symptoms is you got what's known as a hot lot.
What is what's that?
A hot lot
Sounds like a good thing, but it doesn't.
Yeah. A hot lot is known as... The nurse or the doctor sadly didn't shake the vial enough, and I got a larger amount of aluminum
that particle at one time.
Yes.
Oh man, okay.
And I thought that was kind of really crazy, and I started investigating into vaccines and trying to understand, are these really good for us, and can they help? And I realised through massive research that you actually have to weigh 550 pounds to have the adjuvants in the vaccine not cause you any negative effects. And that was the first thing I found. As investigation went on, I learned that one of the biggest causes of the adjuvants in the vaccines is actually a leaky gut, or as the MD world calls, an increased gut permeability.
And do you understand, in the latest research that I've read, 70 to 80% of everybody has a leaky gut, and the symptoms are like extreme fatigue, weight gain, depression,
allergies,
autoimmune disorders. So it's a very serious thing, and it's something too that you can have x-rayed by a good chiropractor, and they can tell you whether or not you have it. But the following things that Joe tells you about that you could do to help yourself, they're very healthy for you. So really the best thing is everybody to, almost pretend like you do have it, and why not make these great changes in your life, especially at such a scary time when we need our immune system.
Well, the data says 70 to 80%, but the number's probably more closer to 95%, and I'll list the reasons why. We've just spoken about what caused me to look into and undergo an x-ray for me and my daughters to see if we actually had leaky gut, which we all three of us did. Mm-hmm. And we believed it to be from...
And it's crazy because, looking, his two daughters are martial artists. One's a 7-time British champion, and obviously Joe's in great shape. I sure in the heck would think, that's impossible. But we have to remember that when you're athletic as well, we're still wasting a lot of stuff in our blood. So our bodies, are really going under a lot of stress a lot of the time.
Well, yeah, we've spoken about how athletes think they're super healthy, but generally their diet's not very good, and they sweat more minerals than the average person.
Yeah, they actually have a shorter lifespan.
63 is the average lifespan for an athlete. So, there's a lot to that. But, just to list the sort of main causes that we're all exposed to that are going to cause leaky gut. First off, adjuvants in vaccines. Medications, that could be anything from Tylenol to antibiotics. Antibiotics is the big one. That one is 100% going to blow holes in the gut. Non-organic food, because it's sprayed with pesticides. Not a lot of people know, but pesticides actually,
they kill pests?
Yeah, I mean, look at homicide, murder, and we murdered a pest, or herbicide, we murdered a herb, glyphosates. These are all things that basically the bug bites the food and then his gut blows up.
Oh.
That's how it kills and obviously it blows up the gut in a small bug, but it will just cause a minor hole in our gut.
Oh, just a minor hole.
Because we're a lot bigger.
No biggie.
Yes, non-organic food, we said that one. Non-filtered water is another big one, because you think majority of the population are on medications that gets into the water. The sewage system doesn't extract them antibiotics and medications, so we're ingesting it when we do. And 70% of the world's population of antibiotics, the gross 70% of the antibiotics in the world goes into non-organic farmed animals.
Okay.
So you eat non-organic animal, you're gonna
yeah.
eat antibiotics and whatnot. So
Gotcha.
they're the main things that cause it.
Okay. And so I understand, and that can also create, or it can come from, emotional, physical, or chemical stress, just like any disease. And it shuts down the nerve and blood supply. But what are some things that everyday people, can do to fix it? Or how did you fix it? Or tell us the story about.
Yeah, so basically I just, when I came across the way of identifying whether you had a leaky gut. Now, we had no real obvious symptoms. We were just, I got pneumonia from my flu shot, so I thought that was, not good, and that's what got me on the look-in. I came across that a corrective chiropractor could identify this through an x-ray.
And by the way, if you guys need some, referrals to great chiropractors, definitely just, go to our website. We've got, we actually one-on-one interview our chiropractors because we really want to make sure that you guys are getting the best.
Yeah, we'll see the nervous system controls and coordinates every function of the body, and it forms 7 hours after conception, and everything grows off the nervous system. And the problem is, we all know that if you break your back and you sever the spine, nothing works from that below. But what people don't understand is if you've got a misalignment of a vertebrae or a bone, it can alter the effect of the nerves that supply that organ.
Absolutely.
So that's just the importance. But our story was that we're martial artists, 20 years myself. My daughters had been doing it since they were 3. And we learned that the reason why Muhammad Ali ended up with Parkinson's is he had terrible forward head carriage, which is where the head sits forward and pulls on the nervous system, affecting...
It's like every inch forward is 12 pounds pulling. And what people don't understand is running down the spine, we have something called the T-spine. So here's your spine, and all our nerve bundles that are responsible for every movement in our entire body are located there. So imagine if your head is forward and now you're pulling on those synapses and they're not quite happening. So...
well, Destiny said 12 pounds of pressure. It's actually 10 on average. Only 12 if you've got a big head like you.
Okay, I got a big hey!
Einstein has a third...
His head is bigger, right?
Einstein's brain is a third the size of the average brain, so he had a tiny head. So he might have only got
it's about the wrinkles, okay?
He might have only got 7 pounds of pressure.
Okay, so... I want a good list here for people to... by the way, we do have a program specifically for this.
On digestive tract.
Yes. And take advantage of our special right now because we're helping out people with immune disorders, especially because, this is a time of crisis. It's a time to help each other, and that's what we're here for.
Well, like Destiny said, stress is one of the biggest things that shuts down stomach acid production, which is the root cause of it's the fountain of youth for how we digest, break down the nutrients, and then break down and rebuild our bodies. So it's very important. So now we're going to run through a quick list of how to restore a leaky gut, because this is how we restored it. 40 days. This is a protocol for 40 days. So you've got to cut out what we just said you should cut out, which causes leaky gut. And then what you need to do is you need to fast. You need to give that stomach, that digestive tract, that gut intermittent fasting,
which we have an awesome program for.
Of course we do.
Rest and digest the belly.
Yes, so 16 hours of digestive tract rest, and then 3 good-sized meals, your normal calorie intake inside an 8-hour window, but you're trying to eat like 3 hours apart, so you're giving, again, that stomach time to digest and rest. great things for it is bone broth, the most important thing ever, and that should be mixed in with all types of food, made into soups, drinkable.
And when you have that little like leftover at the end that you normally toss out, you know, like the rest of the little fats and oils, drink it.
Yeah, because that's
I'm
what
really
the nutrients
good about that now.
Yeah, so we generally boil all of our meats and all our veg in bone broth, so you get all the nutrients.
Everything is, because when you steam things, you're kind of taking the nutrients out.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna steam it, you have to drink the water.
Yeah, so if you steam or boil vegetables and you throw out the water, you're throwing the baby out with the bathwater, as they say.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, geez. Some spices like turmeric.
Yeah, spices
pepper,
actually don't irritate the stomach.
herbs.
They benefit the stomach. They draw heat to the stomach. So cayenne and turmeric are the best. If you have something like a terrible leaky gut or you have an ulcer, the best two herbs on the whole planet is aloe vera and slippery elm. They will actually replace the job that the goblet cells do, which is creating a liquid protective layer from the stomach acid. And then if you've undergone medication, vaccines, terrible lifestyle, or the average lifestyle, you need to repopulate your gut bacteria flora.
Right.
And one of the two most important bacterias, which actually will help manage other bacteria and actually reproduce other species of bacteria, is Lactobacillus acidophilus bifidum bacteria.
Wow, that's like, I can't say that 10 times fast. So I'm just curious though, how can a leaky gut affect our body and our brain?
So the problem with the leaky gut and the brain is that we have a vagus nerve, a cranial nerve 10, and 90% of the information from the gut goes up to the brain. So the gut bacteria actually communicates with the brain, telling you what foods you should have. So if you eat terrible choices of food and very minimal greens and plant-based foods, your body's going to be demanding pancakes and donuts.
And nowadays it's so hard because even our organic food, quote unquote, is less nutrient dense. It's proven in many, many studies. So we really do believe that supplements, good quality supplements, are a must, especially for children as they're growing. So yeah, we put so much just so much research into every single supplement we suggest. And if you don't have time to do that kind of research, leave it to us. I can promise you're in great hands.
Yeah, well, depending when you're watching this video, current times is we're under attack by the coronavirus and everyone's freaking out because of a virus. And the problem with the virus is that it's part of us. We're actually 45% virus, 45% bacteria. And the problem with having a leaky gut is you're going to upset that gut bacteria flora, which is 80% of our immune system, our Th1 immune system, meaning if we get the coronavirus, we're going to end up with an immunity against that and multiple other strains because the Th1...
Right, if you actually, he's saying if you organically...
Yeah, naturally catch the wild coronavirus.
And
because
I believe they were saying that 60% of people that did have it didn't even know.
Yeah, it was actually
over 80%. Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah.
So what I want to say is, we're always fighting off stuff. Many times, you don't know because you're not getting the symptoms because, but with having a leaky gut as well, you're opening the opportunity for things to affect you more, as well as getting an autoimmune disorder, so many things. So you're really putting yourself in harm's way.
Yeah, because the gut, like we said, is the Th1 immune system, 80% of the immune system. And the problem is when you have a leaky gut, you're activating the wrong immune system. You're overstimulating the Th2 immune system.
We've got two immune systems, Th1, Th2. So many people do not know that. Please explain.
Yeah, so I sort of started, but Th1 is you get it through the eyes, nose and mouth mucosa. And that means if you catch wild anything, chickenpox, mumps, rubella, polio, whatever it might be.
Right. That's where you fight from it.
Yeah, you have a full-time life immunity from it because it comes in how nature wanted it to, and that was wild through the air, through, droplets or whatever you want to call it. The problem with the Th2 is you're injecting a virus into the bloodstream. So that's a vaccine, basically. You're injecting it into the bloodstream, and the problem is it's activating the Th2 immune system, which is an acute immune system, which is why you can't just go and get one measles vaccine and be immune for life. And we all know the 70s Brady Bunch measles party, and if you're like us,
I remember being at a chickenpox party.
I'm 40 this year, and my mum took me to the neighbours to get chickenpox, to get mumps, to get rubella, to get everything, and now I'm immune for life from all of them, So that's the problem with the vaccines as well, is you don't get that immunity because you activate the Th2. Now, overstimulating the Th2 immune system through vaccines, medication, non-organic foods, non-filtered water, everything you can imagine, plus the leaky gut.
Okay, so they're saying that they're going to have a vaccine for coronavirus, what they say by next year, right?
June 21.
We do want to explain a little bit of what that means. So there's already been 5 strains of coronavirus, and with each person that gets it, it mutates. So
you're talking about the ones that affects just the people, which is actually 7, and there's 500 overall.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying,
it's crazy.
So they're going to change. So whatever they have, come out with in 2021, odds are that will be probably almost gone.
Yeah, I mean, it's as simple as I could catch it off of a Mexican guy. It's going to mutate from him to me. I'm going to mutate it and give it to Destiny.
Oh,
and then
nice.
It's going to mutate from you, and you're going to give it to someone else. Just so in that small area, we've got 4 different strains.
It's from, it's going to change, and especially when the change is so drastic from one set of genes to the next.
So basically, what that means is this: the vaccine they're trying to get for 21 June, which is the estimated time of arrival. You're going to get all the negatives from the adjuvants in the vaccine, and the strain is going to be so wrong. It's gonna I like explaining it as what's the hottest fashion at the moment, and where will the hottest fashion be in a year's time or over a year's time? It's going to be totally different, and that's literally the problem with the vaccines. It's going to be a totally different strain, so basically you're going to miss them up by a mile, basically.
Yeah, and we just want to, whatever your choice is and whatever your belief is, we want to just have you. Well, we want to give you the ability to educate yourself and make the right choice for you and your family. Many people don't have time to sit there and research. So we do it for you. But there are some things that, you really should take into account before making these choices. So, whether you're pro-vaccine or you're not, that has nothing to do with today. Today, it's just about getting educated, knowing the risks, and, simply...
We've come around in a complete circle. Why would we talk about today leaky gut in a time of coronavirus? Because when you've got the home of 80% of your immune system, if you have a leaky gut, you're going to have a compromised immune system.
And that's overlooked.
That's why we want to promote the leaky gut aspect. It's known now. It's increased gut permeability. If you talk to your MD doctor, and they'll tell you that there is not a drug to heal or seal it, and like we've explained, most drugs cause it. So we have the answer to helping you heal and seal it, which is going to boost your immunity and help you prevent any negativity from the coronavirus.
And if you go to cureinfor.com right now, we're actually giving away free appointments for anybody that has autoimmune or any kind of immunity disorder. We really want to give back to the community and be able to help anybody that's at risk. So be sure to check that out again at cureinfor.com. And we just want everyone to know that we are here for you to have the ability to take your health back.
Bye.
We'll see you again soon.